Thank you. Please clear the pool, fellas. Thank you.
Summers, could we vacate the pool, please, as the warm-up has now finished? Okay, good morning and welcome to this weekend here in East Kilbride, the West District Long Course Championships. It's the second weekend of this year. We will get started with the competition shortly, but until then, I wonder, could I have your attention for the health and safety announcement, please? So in the event of an emergency, a siren will sound and staff will direct you to the nearest exit. Please ensure that you keep all fire exits clear and take a look around and check where your nearest exits are. There is to be no glass items or outdoor footwear poolside. Swimmers on leaving poolside should dry off and wear appropriate dry clothing and footwear. Stairways are to be kept clear. By attending this event, either as a participant, volunteer, team staff or spectator, you accept that any photographs, videos taken will not be used for illicit purposes, or that those pictures, film produced, will not be altered in any way or uploaded onto the web without the consent and writing of the person photographed or filmed. You as spectators are reminded that if you wish to take images, you are requested to focus on your own family member as much as reasonably possible and to avoid including other participants in images, particularly if those images are being shared with family or friends throughout social media platforms. And also importantly, please be aware that you must obtain consent for any photography or videos by filling out the appropriate form at the spectator entry desk, which is at the top of the stairs just at the back of the spectator area. The use of mobile phones or other electronic devices capable of photography are not permitted to be used at any time in the changing rooms, toilets or shower areas.
Summers, can we just ensure that you're marshalling roughly about a good 10 minutes or so before your event? We get underway with 1500 free heats. But thereafter, if you can marshal in good time for our marshals. Thank you. We'll get underway very shortly. Just we hiccup with the pad on one. That should be just about ready to go in a moment. Welcome everyone who's joined us on the live stream. My name is Robert Taylor. With me today this morning is Jackie Smith. We're here over the weekend, so we'll look forward to giving you full commentary on the sessions over the weekend at the Dollan Kilbride. Program this morning, 1500 free, and we move on to 200 backstroke for both the ladies and male and open. So that's breaststroke, 200 breaststroke. Then it's 100 back for both female and male and open. And we conclude with 50 butterfly, again female and male and open. It all runs pretty smoothly. We expect the session to finish probably around 25 to 12, 20 to 12, but we might get finished a little bit sharper if everything runs very smoothly. So 2.5 hours or so for session 1 this morning. Couple of birthdays today. Ewan Nielsen from Cumbernauld is 16. And Craig Shaw from Lanark is 17. So in good West District tradition, everyone, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Ewan and Craig. Happy birthday to you. Okay, our first event is the 1500 free, 3 heats. So this is mixed 1500. In lane 2, we have Jamie Stevenson from Cumbernauld. In lane 3, Archie Johnson from Western Bartonshire. And 4, Lauren Dunlop from Dumfries. Just before we get underway, introduce our senior officials for this morning's session. Our 2 referees are Elizabeth Simmons and Fiona Sinnott. Our starters, Lindsay Hamilton and Ed McCarty.
So, as Robert said, this is the mixed 1500 metre freestyle to kick off the programme here this morning. It says Heat 1. The slight change, you'll see that Jamie Stevenson, Cumbernauld, is now swimming in lane 1. He's got a little bit of a hiccup with lane 2 at the moment, which is being resolved. And lane 3 is Archie Johnson of Western Bartonshire. And 4 is Lauren Dunlop from Dumfries. And it's the Dumfries swimmer who's taken the slight early advantage. So we're looking at entry times here around fast is Archie Johnson in 1932. Both girls posting a 20, just over 20 minutes for this. So we've 3 heats this morning. And in come Lauren Dunlop to lead the field. They're in the distinctive Dumfries cap. They'll turn there. The 1:15.58. So she's got just around a 2-second advantage from the Cumbernauld swimmer, Jamie Stevenson, and Archie Johnson just sitting in behind the girls at the moment. So we'll try and keep you informed of the pacing throughout this, but quite a sedate start at the moment for the 3 swimmers. But Lauren's going to still leading there over in lane 4. There we go. There's the times on the board. 3 seconds of an advantage for her, and just about 1.5 seconds between Jamie and Archie. So we're looking at around a 20-minute mark for completion, but that can all change. We're just at the early stages. As Lauren comes in to turn at the 200-metre mark. Archie's coming up alongside Jamie. Lauren's turning there in a 2:35.47. We'll have a watt clock there. So she's got is extending her advantage. It's gone up to just under 5 seconds at this early stage of the race. They'll all have their own race plan. Need to make sure. It's a long way to go. You'll see the lap cards at the far end. They'll be coming up to that. They'll have 25 lengths still to go. It is Lauren that will take the field into the turn first. Really no change as they go into the turn there. Lauren Dunlop leading ahead of Jamie Steventon and Archie Johnson. But the gap is increasing. Nearly 6 seconds now between first and second place. As I said earlier, fairly sedate start, but Lauren's beginning to kick in now and move away from the rest of the field as we're coming up to the 300-meter mark. Looking at, as I said, around 20 minutes for completion of this race, just under for Lauren, a 3:56.23 there for her after 300 meters. As Archie comes up alongside Jamie, it's still Jamie just leading ahead of him, however, less than half a second between those two swimmers. And for the next 300 meters, I'll pass you over to Robert.
Thank you, Jackie. Not much between the two other swimmers in the pool. Archie and Jamie. Lauren's pacing just around the 20-minute mark. That last one was on 81 seconds, so been pretty steady from Lauren of a couple hundred. Got an entry time of 20:04.40. Pacing at the moment around that pace. We won't want to drop it much below the 80-odd seconds for each 100. Expect her to come in somewhere around about 5:16 at 400. Like that lead just increasing a little bit further. And again, the pace just in the sort of high 80s at the moment. Both of the swimmers virtually turning together. About 8 seconds of a gap now. So when we get down to the next again turn, that will be a third of the race gone. That pace just slowing down a wee bit there. That was around about 41.5 seconds that last 50. So we might find that the split could be pretty close to 6:39 here. Aren't you just beginning to close perhaps? Having a look at the gap at the 500 mark. Well, it has that last 100 significantly slower, around about 83 seconds. The gap is down to around the 7-second mark. Aren't you the only swimmer in this who has a time under 20 minutes? It has gone out a lot slower than I expected. Lauren beginning to pick up again. So we've picked up that last 50 a little bit, but still in a sort of a low 80s gap, some 7 odd seconds, and a further gap to Jamie, maybe about 5 seconds further back in third place. So certainly the pace in a sort of 83-second range. So it has dropped quite significantly. So we're looking at somewhere probably a little bit inside 20.5 minutes now. We'll see if Archie can pull a little bit extra out in the next 100 to just close that gap. He's moved well clear in second. Jamie has dropped back a little bit.
So in goes Lauren to the turn ahead of Archie, as Robert's just said. Archie's got himself up and firmly up into second place now. Some 5 seconds behind the leader, but there is not reached halfway yet. So Jamie is some distance behind Archie, but that's not to say that her race plan doesn't include something in the middle section of this race. Coming up to 700 meters now. Archie's certainly within about half a body length of Lauren's toes, but it is Lauren turning first in a 9:26. So there's 2 seconds behind those two swimmers. The gap has closed. Lauren needs to keep an eye as Archie's now coming up and alongside Lauren there, as we can see sort of halfway down the pool. It is the 16-year-old from Western Bartonshire who appears to be now gaining the advantage. As the swimmers go down to the halfway mark, they will have 15 lengths to go. You can see the lap cards now, and it is Archie Johnson who has taken the lead here, 10:06 ahead of Dumfries's Lauren Dunlop in a 10:07. So can Lauren do anything to respond to Archie Johnson? Moving away from her now. Jamie Stevenson turning there in a 10:20. So move coming down into closing stages of this 50 meters to mark 800 meters past the halfway mark. And it is Archie Johnson turning in a 10:47. Lauren Dunlop, 10:48. About just under 2 seconds between those two, our two leaders, Archie Johnson and Lauren Dunlop. So certainly at the seniors weekend, 2-3 weekends ago, we had some fantastic drops on entry times from the swimmers, certainly in the 1500 meters. We're looking to see that happening again here this morning. But it is Archie Johnson who is showing this, what he can do in this distance swim now, as he's turning now. 11:26 for him. 11:30, so the 2 seconds has gone to 4 seconds. Really moving ahead now and marking his lead on this race, the first race of this morning. Sun shining out there, I think, or at least trying to come out. A little bit of bright light down at the far end of the pool, certainly, as here comes Archie into 900 meters now. Keep an eye here, turning 12:06. So suggested pacing at around the 80-second mark for Archie. We're looking at a 20:06 estimated finish for him at the moment. But he is certainly moving away from second place Lauren Dunlop. Jamie Stevenson comes into the turn now at 900. And I'll pass you back to Robert.
Archie's gone out an awful lot slower in the first half, but really beginning to pick it up now, pacing under 80 seconds. And that one another 39. So the halfway mark, Archie's split 10:06.87. If you double that, we're looking at 20:13 roughly, and you add maybe another 6 or so seconds. So 10:20, but I'm sure he's going to be a lot faster than that. Jamie 10:07.50. I think she's going to be nearer the 20.5 minutes. And Lauren 10:20, so she could be pretty close to 21 as a finish time. Archie's really got going in the last 300 or 400 metres. 13:26.48, and about a 79.5. So pace has picked up. So there is every chance we'll certainly get a negative split from Archie in the second half of the race. So if he comes in faster than 13.5 or so, that means he's swam the second half faster than the first, which doesn't often happen. There's every chance he might even get under 20 minutes here. We can keep this strong finish going. Well, that one just a little bit slower, that last 50. The next couple of 100 metres are where you want to keep that pace going. Don't want to drop, and then just try and finish as strongly as you can. This is sort of where these swimmers begin to really feel the pain, sort of hit the wall like a marathon runner. And you just want to get over this next couple of 100 metres and then give it everything in the final stages. So looking at something in the high 1440s here as a split. And Archie's pace just dropping, that's near enough a 71 plus. So I want to try and just pick this up again. Early leader London Lop. Now some 15, 16 seconds further back. And Jamie comes in at the 1500 metre, 1100 metre mark. He's about another 15 seconds further back. Archie's pace just dropping away a wee bit again. That's another 41 plus. Certainly the sort of middle 500 was pretty good for Archie. Really began to pick it up. And we're probably looking at somewhere round about 16:10 for a split with 300 to go. So Archie's now a long way clear. At this point, he just needs to try and kick in again and get that pace increasing. Another 81 odd seconds. So we're looking at a finish somewhere in the sort of 2010 range. I'll pass you back to Jackie to finish this one off.
So less than 300 metres to go for our leader, Archie Johnson. As Robert said, pace just dropping a little bit, but he'll be kicking in now. He'll know that he's within, after this turn, 250 metres of the finish line. So he's going up to the turn there. 16:48 for him. Some distance ahead of Lauren and certainly ahead of Jamie. Well, up he comes. He's really just against time now for Archie. I don't think there's much the girls can do about the lead that he has. He's started off fairly sedately here in this race, but as we moved into the centre, to the middle section, the middle 500, Archie began to make his move and has built on that ever since. So his pace has just picked up over that last 100. We're looking at just a 20:06 finish for him now. So he's entered on a 19:32, so we'll have to see a very strong finish, I think, from Archie to come in under that time this morning. But 3 lengths to go. When he comes back down to the start, he will hear the bell, and we'll be looking for a negative split from him to be able to come in under the 20-minute mark this morning. But he is having to do this all by himself with the lead that he has. Which needs all that is being cheered, as we can hear from the side, from his fellow teammates. Going to come in, and he will be the first of our 3 swimmers to hear the bell. He'll know he's got, there we go, into lane turning there, and an 18:48. So the pace has just slipped a little over that last 100, but let's see what he can do over this last one. 75 meters now. Picking, moving well through the water. He will be tired, but he's got to dig deep now. Lauren hears the bell. A 19:16 for her with 2 lengths to go. As in comes Jamie to the turn. She'll hear the bell. Archie has turned. He is heading for home now. Let's keep an eye on the clock. As I said, it was a 19:32 for him as an entry time, but he's had to do this all by himself in this latter part, the second half of this 1500 meter freestyle this morning. Keep pushing himself, coming into the closing meters now. We're looking at something just over 20. Oh, he got in there. Well done, Archie. A 19:59.74, under the 20-minute mark for Archie Johnson from West Dunbartonshire. Lauren Dunlop will take second place. So they finished split for Archie Johnson. There was a 71. Good finish him to get, as I said, to get in under the 20-minute mark on the basis of the pacing throughout the race. But here comes the Dumfries swimmer, Lauren Dunlop, finishing at a 20:38. 74 for her. And the Cumbernauld swimmer, Jamie Steventon, coming into the closing stages of her 1500 metre this morning to start off her programme here in a 20:54.76. So that concludes Heat 1. We have 2 further heats.
So the second of the three heats. One, we have Scott Watson from East Kilbride in empty lane in 2. 3 is Daisy Gilday from City of Glasgow. 4, Sarah Maguire from Dumfries. And in 5, Abby McMillan, City of Glasgow. The swimmers' entry times all fairly close, 9:13:55 to 19:29.9. So barely 15 seconds cover all 4 swimmers. The ladies in 3, 4 and 5, and Jen in lane 1. And Scott Watson at East Kilbride is on paper the slowest of the 4. He's out very smartly. Daisy Gilday turning just in second place. 109.87, 110.57. With the other 2 swimmers a couple of seconds further back, Sarah and Abby. So 78-second pace per 100. Give them times of around 19.5 minutes. We'll see how this pace goes over the first 200 or 300 metres as they settle down. Scott just increasing that lead a wee bit. So we would expect a split somewhere round about the 2:27, 2:26, 2:27 for Scott, if he is pacing roughly on his entry time. But he's going out pretty smartly indeed, a lot faster than the other 3 girls. Let's see if you can keep this very strong start going. 2:22.82. That's significantly faster than I expected. Around about 73 seconds. So if you could keep this going, we're looking at something a good minute or so faster, something like 18:15-ish. Certainly out extremely strongly indeed. 2:58 would be 2:59. It's very much pace that he's done for the second 100. We'll look and see if we're in the sort of 3:36, 3:37 range, where he's off the flyer after 300. Daisy Gilday much more steady, along with the other 2 girls in second, third and fourth. But Scott out. Can he keep this strong pace going? 3:37.19. Well, just a fraction slower than that last one. 74 and a bit. But it's a strong start, Jackie, as I pass the reins over to you for the next few hundred.
Thanks, Robert. As you say, it is a very strong start by our East Kilbride swimmer, Scott Watson. Whereas the 3 girls behind. Daisy Gilday, the fastest swimmer entered in this heat. So right where you'd expect her to see her, had it not been for Scott Watson. And he's very strong start here in this second heat of this 1,500 metres. So Scott Watson, Daisy Gilday, Abby McMillan and Sarah Maguire. And in comes Scott. Time there, 4:53.10. So his pacing is pacing pretty even across the last 100 from the earlier ones, but is certainly motoring there in lane 1. We're just at the 500-meter mark at the next turn up at the start end of the pool, so still have 2/3 of his race to go. Can he keep this going? Daisy Gilday in second place, also known for her open water swimming. Roberts confirmed to me that she's been selected as a member of the open water performance squad. Is it performance squad or sorry, it's an open water development squad. It's a national squad selected for training and competition purposes. We will see Daisy in the open water competitions across Scotland later on in the year when the temperatures increase a little bit. So into the 500-meter mark, and Scott there is a 6:09.42. So we're certainly a lot faster than that previous heat we saw. Pace still very steady for Scott. Maybe just slowed a little bit over that last 100. Looking at a finish of around in just under 19 minutes into the 19:29. But we'll see, as we said, whether he can keep this going. Super start for him, getting himself well and truly ahead of the field, but that does mean that he is on his own and has to keep this going, has to keep this race plan in his head and stick with it. So he's turned and heading back down for 600 meters. Daisy turns in behind him. Third place is Abby McMillan and Sarah Maguire in fourth. Here comes Scott. Keep an eye on that clock for him. He's going to get under 7:30 at the turn here. 7:27.68. So he's pacing. It is dropping away a little bit for him. That was a 78 over that last 100 compared to a 76 previously. But it's just over the 19-minute mark as an estimated finish now for him. And I'll pass you over to Robert.
Just see if Daisy Gilday can keep that pace that she's going and try and increase her a little bit and see if she can eat into this big lead in the second half of the race. Big ask at this point now. Our leader is going extremely fast, but maybe just beginning to pay for the strong start. Pacing dropping down to a 78 on that last one, having been a sort of 76, a 75 and a 74. So 700 meters, we'll be looking about 8:45. Just picked it up just a very slight fraction. 8:44.83. Daisy now turning at that same point, and pad not registering there, but somewhere around 14 seconds further back. Third place, our teammate Abby McMillan with Sarah Maguire, the Dumfries swimmer, a little bit further back in fourth. So halfway mark for our leader, 9:24.13. So double that and add it on maybe 68 seconds, and you're looking at somewhere inside the 19-minute mark. Daisy, it's round about 13 seconds further back. We'll see if she can just try and pick things up. So Daisy in a 19:37, again double that, add on a little bit, and we're looking around the 19:20 mark finish potentially for Daisy. But Scott at 800, 10:03.80. Now that one almost a 79. And Daisy just eats into that lead a wee bit. And we'll see how this one goes over the next couple of hundred. About 13 a bit seconds. Still a big ask. There again, we have still 13, 14 lengths, or 14 sections of 50 to go. So if she can pick up a second each 50, it could be very interesting with a few hundred to go. Daisy Gilday, the winner last year, recipient of the Open Water Junior title. It's awarded to the best or very promising 16 and under swimmer. He was the winner of the Ian Prentice Memorial Award. A very prestigious open water award that's given out every year, both the junior and the senior. Now Scott, 11:23.12 at 900. We'll just keep an eye on Daisy's time. Then I'll pass you over to Jackie for the next section. Daisy turning. And it's about 12 and a bit seconds.
Yeah, as Robert says, so Daisy's lying around 12, 13 seconds behind our leader, Scott Watson. Scott just needs to keep the pace going, but we'll keep an eye on what Daisy Gilday can do to rein him in. They've got 600, just 550 meters still to go. Scott's turned to 12:02. Watch Daisy's turn there, 12:15. So the distance between them still around that 12, 13 second mark. So she's not making an inundate into the leader at the moment. In behind her, Abby McMillan and Sarah Maguire. Scott comes down to the turn at 1,000 meters. He'll do that in a 12:42.54. So it's pretty even pace over that last 100 from previously. We're looking around a 79 over the each of the last 100 meters, last 200 meters, I beg your pardon. Daisy's in behind him. 12:55 there at the turn for her. So still 12, 13 seconds. There is no change in that gap between those two swimmers. So down and into the turn at the far end goes our leader, the 15-year-old from East Kilbride. 13:21.76 for him. 450 meters to go, well, just under that now for Scott. 13:35 for our second place, Daisy Gilday. 7 seconds splits her and third place, Abby McMillan. Her teammates, so they'll know each other well from training. And Sarah Maguire, the 15-year-old from Dumfries, sitting in behind. The 16-year-old from the city of Glasgow, Abby McMillan. So Scott turns there, 14:02. Again, steady pacing for him, just around 79 seconds for the last 100. And again, no change in the splitting first and second place, beg your pardon there. Still the 12, 13 seconds between Scott Watson and City of Glasgow's Daisy Gilday. So as we go into at the turn, once Scott's turned now, he's coming back and he'll have 300 meters to go once he reaches the start end. The final fifth of the race, I beg your pardon. Get some maths done correctly here. And is Daisy beginning to make a move? Keep an eye on the clock. 12, 13 seconds is a lot to ask to try and catch Scott. If he can maintain or indeed pick up his pace as we go into the final fifth of this race for Scott. 15:22.71 for him. A little bit slower just over that last 100. He's certainly going to have to be digging in deep now, and I'll pass you over to Robert.
Well, Daisy has eaten into the lead, but only marginally. There's a cracking race potentially on for third and fourth. Sarah Maguire was 3 seconds back, 100 metres back. She's down to about a second now, and she's certainly finishing very strongly, the 15-year-old from Dumfries. Abby McMillan comes under a bit of pressure. Just over 250 to go. Scott pace has just dropped off this last few 100 metres. Still well clear of Daisy. Expect a time around about the 16:40. Low 16:40s here. Well, our bell ring is a couple of hundred early. Fingers crossed our swimmer hasn't taken any notice of that. It's their responsibility at the end of the day to count and not rely on both the marker at the opposite end, which is saying 3, which means 150 to go. Hopefully that will refocus Scott that he still has 150 metres to go and not 50. Daisy turning, and both the other swimmers see what the gap is. It's still advantage just with Abby, but there's hardly anything in it. 1500s. 100 to go for Scott. But he is finishing strongly. Let's hope that he'll keep this going. He does indeed. Well done, Scott. And he is finishing extremely strongly. Daisy Gilday will hear the bell. 18:00:22 for our leader. 18:13:47, and finishing extremely strongly is Sarah Maguire. Lauren now a couple of seconds further back and forth. But this will be a very good swim for the swimmer from East Kilbride. Had the slowest entry time, but he's going to finish with a good PB, 19:29.9. Let's see if he can get somewhere around the 19:15 mark. Daisy's well clear in second. Sarah and Abby third and fourth. And we're just approaching 19:10. Super swim from the outside lane. Gonna very strongly indeed. He did fade in the second half, but a very good swim. 19:17.25, 12.5 second plus PB. Steady swim for Daisy. 19:30.94. She should be pretty happy with that, as should the other two girls. Sarah 19:35.76 and Abby this week for that time, probably around the just high 1930s, 19:30.71.
So this is the third heat of event 101, the mixed 15 and over 1500 meter freestyle. And go in lane 1, Daniel Hendry, City of Glasgow. 2, Cooper Sloss, Ren 96. We have an empty lane 3. 4, Lucy Hunter, Hamilton Baths. 5, Finlay Watson, East Kilbride, and an empty lane 6. So 4 swimmers in this final heat. And the early lead goes to the Ren 96 swimmer, Cooper Sloss. In behind him, Finlay Watson, Lucy Hunter, and Daniel Hendry. And it is the Ren 96 swimmer, I think, who will lead the field into the 100-meter turn here. So the entries, we've got, what we're looking at, 3 16-year-olds and an 18-year-old with entry times around 17:55 to 18:18. So all pretty tight on the basis of the entry times. Wouldn't necessarily expect to see the field being split at this early stage. So we saw a really good swim in the second heat there in the outside lane. By the East Kilbride swimmer, took the lead on very early and maintained that right throughout. Let's see what happens here. It is still the Ren 96 swimmer in a 1:41.24 after 150 meters. So Cooper entered on a 18:03. So the Hamilton Bath swimmer, Lucy Hunter, and East Kilbride's Finlay Watson, almost just stroke for stroke in second place there in behind the Ren 96 swimmer. So that was a 2:17.34 at the turn there for Cooper Sloss. So we were a good deal faster, whereas, well, 5 seconds faster than the previous heat at this stage. So let's see what the times produce. So Cooper turning first. Lucy and Finlay turning in second place there, almost together, 2/100ths of a second, 2/10ths of a second splitting them, with Daniel Hendry just in behind in lane 1. Daniel also alongside his teammate Daisy Gilday, as we were talking about in the previous heat, known for his open water swimming as well. So coming up right alongside Cooper Sloss is Hamilton Bath's Lucy Hunter, but that's still go at the turn there. It was still the Ren 96 swimmer. Beginning to get a little bit of an idea of the estimated finish time after this early stage, and it's sitting at around the just over 18-minute mark, but there's a long way to go. And as we can see, 3 at the front, 4:06, 4:06, 4:07, lanes 2, 4, and 5, Cooper, Lucy, and Finlay. Really not a lot to separate these 3 as we're into the coming down to the turn after 400 meters. And Lucy has the advantage over the East Kilbride swimmer. Finlay Watson right up alongside Cooper Sloss. She may well take the field into the turn. No, it will still, that advantage still lies with Cooper there in lane 2 in a 4:42.82. So we're looking at a 72 of her pacing over that last 100. Picking that up just a little bit from the previous 100. It's still the 3 lanes 2, 4 and 5. Cooper Sloss leads just ahead of Lucy Hunter, who in turn leads just ahead of Finley Watson. So on paper, the fastest of the 3 of them is the 16-year-old from Hamilton Baths, Lucy Hunter, entered on a 17:55.90. Going into the turns, lanes 2 and 4, but the advantage has now got switched to Lucy Hunter, but coming out of that turn well, the Ren 96 swimmer Cooper Slawson has regained the advantage.
So leading time at the first third, 5:56.36. So again, if we triple that, we're looking at something around the 17:50. So add a little bit on, and you're in the very close to 18-minute ballpark for a finish. And this is the makings of a pretty interesting race. Good to see Lucy Hunter giving these guys a good run for their money. Lucy swam at Edinburgh International last week. Delighted to see her doing some distance stuff, and she swam pretty credibly. All these swimmers, of course, will be in hard training, so don't worry too much about the times. We did get a PB from Scott in the previous heat, but don't worry about PBs today, as long as they're within maybe 15 seconds or so of that entry time. I'm sure the coaching staff should be quite pleased with how the swimmers have done today. Lucy Hunter with that white cap and the HB, distinct Hamilton Bass cap. Giving these 2 guys a good run for their money. Cooper Sloss, Ren 96. In lane 2. Just ahead of Finley Watson, the Kilbride swimmer. Over in lane number 5. So we're at the 700 mark. So our final swimmer, Daniel Henry. Daniel does a lot of triathlon work, so I'm sure Daniel will be looking forward to the open water season. Another swimmer that enters these events and thoroughly enjoys competing. Daniel's been, at his age, the open water champion, or open water West District champion last year and the year before, 15 and 14-year-old. Lucy Hunter, nice to see Lucy keeping that good start going. Finish time for Lucy, probably a little bit over 18 minutes. So coming down with 800 gone. So Lucy, maybe just extending that advantage. So Lucy at halfway, 8:58.99. So again, double that. You're smidgen under 19 minutes. Add 68 seconds, and you're in the low 18-minute range. And Lucy, as I say, should be pretty pleased if she's sub 18:15. Pretty tight for second and third. Finlay within 2 seconds of Cooper Schloss. Lucy Hunter at the moment. Not saying she's got this one in the bag, but looking good as we reach the 900 mark. 10:48.76. Round about 5 seconds, 4.5, 5 seconds advantage. There's just about a second and a half between the two guys. So it could all change over the next couple hundred meters. We'll just keep an eye on the time for Lucy. See if she can maintain this sort of 4.5 second advantage she has. So 9:50 gone. We'll see what the gap is. Well, it's virtually bang on 5 seconds. So at the moment, the two guys not making any inroads into the lead. This will be an event that Lucy will be doing, I'm sure, along with 800 up at Aberdeen Sports Village in a few weeks' time. Well, 2 weeks from now we'll be up at Aberdeen, Jackie and I. So you've got to suffer yet again on both live stream and the venue if you're up there. Sorry guys, but yeah, you don't get off lightly. So I'll pass you over to Jackie to call this one home.
Thank you, Robert. Third is the Hamilton Bath swimmer. Well and truly leading this. But Cooper Schloss, look at him. He's beginning to make, is he beginning to make a bit of a move to close the gap between him and our leader? But I don't know, so there's 4 seconds between them there. So Cooper is making a move. He did have the early lead here. And Lucy will need to be aware that possibly she's going to have a challenge for her lead. So the field comes down to the 1100 meters. We were looking at it, pace had dropped over the last 100. We'll keep an eye on what's happening now. So a 13:16.15 for the Hamilton Bath swimmer. Pretty steady pace again from the previous 100. Looking at around a 73 for her. So Cooper has taken a second off of her lead though at that turn. And it certainly looks like he's continuing to do so. Okay, so there she goes. There, Lucy into the turn. 7 lengths to go. We're going to look for around a 14:30 for her to allow her to come in under her entry time. At the finish of this race, Cooper's made another half a second inroad into her lead, however. So this has all the bearings of being quite an exciting finish here. Lucy may not be aware that he is coming up on her left-hand side. Just got to get her focus back and keep going. 1200 meters, 14:29. So she's on target at the moment to come in. But Cooper now got a 4 seconds difference between the two swimmers. Looks like that's closing yet again as they go down to the far end of the pool. Has Lucy seen him? And can she respond? Took this field on early on in this race. 250 meters to go. 15:06 for Lucy. Let's watch 3 seconds. Just under 3 seconds between our first and second place swimmers. So as we can see, Cooper's really motoring through the water, but he's going to need to keep this going. He has no idea what Lucy may still have in the tank as we go into the last 200 meters after this turn. So Lucy turns 15:43. The pace has dropped, but the gap between first and second place is also dropping. 2.5 seconds there between Lucy and Cooper. East Kilbride's Finlay Watson in third place, and Daniel Hendry, City of Glasgow, in behind him. So let's keep, what can Cooper do? It looks like he may not be kicking with the same pace as he goes into the turn there. Can he pick that back up again? Lucy is responding. And so that lead that she had is increasing. What has Cooper got left? Giving it one go. Can he give it another and get up and alongside and past our leader? So we need 16:55 from Lucy as she comes into the 1400 meter turn. She will be the first of our field to hear the bell. 16:55.24. 2.5 second lead. It's maintained between her and the Ren 96 swimmer, Cooper Sloss. He's heard the bell, however. What can he do in the last 125 meters for these two swimmers? It was good to see a bit of a battle as we get towards the end, but it will be Lucy that will lead the field into the final turn. 17:31 for her. 17:33, so Cooper's not making any inroads into Lucy's lead as they've both turned and come down, heading for home now. Not sure Cooper's going to have enough water left to be able to rein in Lucy. He's certainly giving it a go. Daniel comes into the 1400 meters and here's the bell. This race will belong to the Hamilton Bath swimmer, Lucy Hunter, finishing there in a time of 18:05. Second place goes to Ren 96's Cooper Sloss in an 18:07.48. As East Kilbride's Finlay Watson comes in to finish his 1500 meters this morning. $18.27 for him. Going into his final turn of his race is City of Glasgow's Daniel Hendry. And here comes Daniel, just about 25 meters still to go. Coming into the closing meters now. Daniel Hendry, City of Glasgow, and that concludes the 1500 meter freestyle here this morning.
Well done, guys. Nice wee workout for them. Well done, Lucy and Cooper. Pretty well on your entry time. And we move on to 200 breaststroke. We have 6 heats. Good luck, ladies. So our first heat, just the 3 in this one. Hannah Jameson, East Kilbride in 2. Lucy Vignon from South Ayrshire in 3. And in lane 4, Lisa Davies from Scotia. Now entry times in this one, 3:21.70. That's Lucy's time. Hannah 3:22.90 and 3:22.10 for Louisa. So second on their entry times, and there's not much at this early stage. Might just be Louisa, that distinct green cap of Scotia in lane 4. 45.42. Second ahead, and for further second back is Hannah. The 3 girls still all very close. Just Louisa, there's barely a body length between the 3. Technically, this is probably the hardest swim to do. Very low between the 2 girls at the head of affairs. 1200ths advantage Louisa over Lucy, with Hannah less than 2 seconds further back. 1:38.83. And now the South Ayrshire swimmer, Lucy Vignon, forges maybe about a body length clear. Let's see if the other 2 girls can react. At the moment, still maintains that body length advantage and maybe just beginning to pull away a wee bit here. Still not any reaction from the other 2, so the South Ayrshire girl looking pretty good as we get towards the 150 mark. Gone quite some way ahead of Louisa, who's going to be second. So 2:30 on the nose at 150. So we're pacing very much on our entry time. Hannah's probably gone into second now and trying to pull back as much as you can, with our early leader Louisa a wee bit further back in third. A solid swim from Lucy here. 3:21.70. Probably going to just be inside that, but not by much. No, she was just in no more. 3:21.44, about a quarter of a second faster entry time. Other 2 girls, not much in it. 3:26.63 for Hannah, and Louisa 3:27.83, just a few seconds over their entry time. Well done, girls.
And we move on to Heat 2, Lane 1, Rachel Cameron, North Ayrshire. 2, Ruth Thompson, Renfrew Baths. 3, Ava Dempsey, City of Glasgow. 4, Erin Lammy, Lanark. And 5, Zoe Griffin, Cumbernauld. So the girls are all 15 years of age here in this second heat of 6, with entry times ranging from 3:15 through to 3:21. So we go down to the turn after the first 50, pretty much in a line. Not a lot to split the girls. Maybe lane 1 having the advantage. Possibly does. Rachel Cameron, a North Ayrshire swimmer. Do you get the turn? No, right over the other side. Lane 5, I beg your pardon. Zoe Griffin, the Cumbernauld swimmer, a distinctive yellow cap. Over there on the far side of the pool in the 46. So just around the same time at the moment as the previous heat after the first 50 meters. I think it is lanes 1 and 5 that have the advantage over the field, with third place sitting with Erin Lammy of Lanark. So we've got Zoe Griffin, Rachel Cameron, Erin Lammy as we come in to the halfway mark. And it will be Zoe Griffin leading ahead of Rachel Cameron, 1:37.90 against a 1:39.02. They are faster now than the previous heats. Picked up the pace a little bit, the girls now. Third place lying with Lanark's Erin Lammy. In behind her we see Ava Dempsey and Ruth Thompson. But that distinctive yellow cap of Cumbernauld, Zoe Griffin, continuing to lead the field but being challenged by the white cap of North Ayrshire and Rachel Cameron swimming there in lane 1. The girls going into the final turn now. And it is Cumbernauld Zoe Griffin in a 2:29. She's a nearly 3-second advantage over second place for Rachel Cameron. Erin Lammy in third. So Zoe just needs to keep this going. And Rachel find anything to challenge her. Coming through nicely in the middle of the pool there to challenge for third place. City of Glasgow's Ava Dempsey. She's coming up alongside Erin Lammy. So Erin needs to be aware of that challenge. City of Glasgow's Ava Dempsey moving through. But it is Zoe Griffin, the Cumbernauld swimmer, who will take this second heat this morning. Battle for second place, but I think will remain with North Ayrshire's Rachel Cameron, and Ava Dempsey just being pipped there by, indeed pipped there. The third place goes to Erin Lammy of Lanark. So 3:20.21, 3:24.79 and 3:25.44 for our top 3 swimmers.
Our third heat has Charlotte Pavlikos-Zinstag in lane 1 from City of Glasgow. 2, Natasha McNeil, Rutherglen. 3, Alice Jones, South Ayrshire. 4 is Alex Shepherd, Cumbernauld. 5, Charlotte Smith, Stirling Swimming. And 6, Madison Gooley from North Ayrshire. Times in this one, 3:00.90 down to 3:15.31. Well, 2 swimmers in the middle lanes, the only swimmers under 3:10, along with Natasha McNeil, 3:09.90 in lane 2. 43.27 for Alex. So the yellow cap of Cumbernauld and that silver cap of Rutherglen. Those 2 at the moment. This South Ayrshire swimmer, Alice Jones, now coming through strongly in the second 50, and she's upsides the early leader, Alex Shepherd. And probably just has forged ahead. So at the halfway mark. Much faster start in this one than the previous heat. 1:32.57 at halfway. Tight behind for second, third and fourth. Natasha, Charlotte and Alex. City Glasgow girl in lane 1. Charlotte Pavlikos-Sintag trying to make a move. For the South Ayrshire swimmer in lane 3, Alice Jones. At the moment, looking strong and pulling away. The rest of the field, maybe we'll just have to settle for the minor places here. The Glasgow swimmer in 1 possibly holds second place just ahead of Rutherglen's Natasha McNeil. The South Ayrshire swimmer Alice Jones looks as though she has this one under control. 2:22.30, 2.5 seconds clear of Charlotte and Natasha. They're separated by about half a second, with their leader Alex Shepherd in 4th. 5th place is Charlotte Smith, with Madison Gourlay a fair way back in 6th. Alice Jones has got this one pretty well wrapped up now, with just around 15 to go. Charlotte's had a nice swim in lane 1. You're going to be pretty well near her entry time of 3:13.10 as Charlotte. Alice Jones comes in, takes heat number 3, 3:10.87. Charlotte takes second, 3:13.92. And 3rd place is Natasha McNeil, 3:16.12.
And we move on to Heat 4, Lane 1, Lisa McNair, Stirling Swimming. 2, Ellen White, also Stirling Swimming. 3, Neve Quinn, Kintyre. We have an empty Lane 4. 5, Emma Chambers, Cumbernauld. And 6, Katie Watson, City of Glasgow. 16, 17 and 18-year-olds swimming in this particular heat. And it looks like it may be Lisa McNair from Stirling Swimming in lane 1, who has the early advantage. She'll go into the turn. I'm sorry, I called that wrong again. It's actually Cumbernaud's Emma Chambers leading that. Coming through as well, Neve Quinn, the Kintyre swimmer, up into 3rd place as we come down to the halfway mark. So we have Emma Chambers, Lisa McNair. Lisa, I think, will have the advantage going into the turn. She does, 1:24.17 for her, just about a second and a half faster than 2nd place Neve Quinn, Kintyre swimmer, leading ahead of Cumbernaud's Emma Chambers. So just about 125 metres still to go for these girls. Entry times ranging from a 2:55 to 3:00. So the spread of the field is probably as you would expect to see, but they're going into the final turn now, and it's still leading this field is Stirling Swimming's Lisa McNair ahead of, difficult to see, but I think that's Cumbernaud's Emma Chambers going in 2nd ahead of Kintyre's Neve Quinn. So Lisa McNair has turned 2:10.21. Emma Chambers in 2nd and Neve Quinn 3rd. The whole field's turned and are heading for the finish. So what can the girls do to challenge Lisa McNair? She has a half a body length advantage over Cumbernaud's Emma Chambers at the moment as we come into the closing half of this final length of this 200-metre breaststroke. Lisa McNair leading ahead of Emma Chambers, Neve Quinn of Kintyre in 3rd place. And it is Lisa's race this morning. She leads the field in, finishing there in a 2:57.44, ahead of Emma Chambers in a 2:58.37, and Neve Quinn of Kintyre finishes in a 3:00.31.
Just relax a wee moment, girls. We'll get underway. We're just checking a time. We'll get you in the water very shortly. Our fifth heat has Abigail Fagan, Ren 96 in lane 1. Empty lane in 2. Emma Binney, Inverclyde in 3. Connie Hart, South Ayrshire 4. Jenna Maguire, Hamilton Baths in lane number 5. Pretty level start by the three girls in 3, 4 and 5. Emma, Connie and Jenny. Jenny maybe just shading it. There's not very much in it. 2:50.30 to 2:54.20 are the entry times in this. It's maybe just lane 3 now. Emma Binney, Inverclyde swimmer, is forwards a second or so ahead of Hamilton's Jenny Maguire. Nice strong start from Emma in this one. She's got about a body length clear. Abigail just a wee bit further off the pace in 4th. Emma has on paper about a second and a half advantage over Connie Hart, who's the second fastest on entry times. As we get to the halfway mark, and a wee bit faster than the previous heat, around a second. And already 4 seconds up on the other two girls who are turning pretty well together, Jenny and Connie. And a couple of seconds further back on them is Abigail. But Emma's got this one pretty well wrapped up now. Looks as though she's powering down the penultimate 50. Going about 4 or 5 metres clear. Jenny Maguire still holding a fairly close second. Not much between her and Connie Hart. So 2:08.81 at the 150 mark. We're just over a second faster. So we're probably looking at the mid 250s here for Emma. Still a good contest for second. Jenny just ahead of Connie. Very fast stroke action from Emma coming down inside the final 10 metres now. Second place is going to be Jenny Maguire from Hamilton Baths. Connie Hart from South Ayrshire will be third. And the time, nice strong finish, 2:53.60. Emma takes that. Jenny finishes in 2:59.19. And Connie 3:01.55. Abigail Fagan, including the race, 3:08.26.
And this is heat 6, the final heat of event 102, the 15 and over 200 meter breaststroke. In lane 1, Cara White, Ren 96. 2, Ava Ross, City of Glasgow. 3, Evie Mackey, Lanark. 4, Perry Scobie, Stirling Swimming. 5, Katie Gillis, Renfrew Baths. And 6, Katie Towers, Lanark. So entry times here range from a 2:40 through to 2:48. Fastest times coming from the centre of the pools, Evie Mackey, and then behind her, Perry Scobie. So as suspected, Evie Mackey has taken an early lead here in a 36:14 ahead of Ava Ross and Cara White. So Lennox, Evie Mackey, winner of the most promising junior last year, now swimming here at the District Senior, member of Scottish Swimming National Squads. Has been, I remember her from the DRP Junior Academy days. It's a sign of getting old there. That's Evie, 1:16.32. Leading ahead of Ava Ross in a 1:21. So with 5 seconds of a gap between our leader and second place, City of Glasgow, Ava Ross. Moving through the water nicely, Perry Scobie in lane 4. Also lane 1, Cara White, Ren 96. I think Perry from Stirling Swimming has now got herself up into second place. In behind Lanark's Evie Mackey. As Evie goes into the final turn, 1:58. Perry Scobie, 2:04. And City of Glasgow's Ava Ross in a 2:06. As all swimmers have now turned and are heading for the finish. But this race has, right from the start, belonged to Lanark's Evie Mackey. And she will lead the field home. It's second and third place that they're battling for here, with second place at the moment lying with Stirling Swimming's Perry Scobie. Battle for third place between lanes 5, 2 and 1. Katie Gillis, Ava Ross, Cara White, Perry Scobie, Evie Mackey, I beg your pardon, finishes at 2:41.28. Perry Scobie takes second place, 2:49. And third place goes to City Glasgow's Ava Ross in a time of 2:51.03. The previous heat disqualification in lane 5 for a technical infraction. And we move on to event 103, the male and open 15 and over 200 meter breaststroke. We've got six heats, I beg your pardon, of this event for the swimmers this morning.
So it's our male and open 200 breaststroke now. It's 6 heats as well. 3 in the first one, Sam Haddon from Ren 96 in 2. Ethan Alexander, City Glasgow in 3. And Rhys McMillan, Renfrew Baths in lane number 4. 2:58 to 3 are the entry times. So fastest in this one, Ethan Alexander in lane 3 is out smartly from Sam and Reese in 2 and 4. .40.23. So about a second between the 3 lads at the first 50. And not much change in that as they make their way down to roughly 75 metres. All these boys 15. So the 3 boys coming down, very little between them at halfway. 1:26.85, 1:27.98 and 1:28.67 for Ethan, Sam and Reese respectively. Just give you the medalists for that freestyle that we had earlier on. For the girls, 15s, Daisy Gilday gold, Sarah McGuire takes silver, and Lauren Dunlop the bronze. 6-year-olds, Lucy Hunter, Abby McMillan, and Jamie Steventon. That's medalists in that one. In the boys, the 15-year-olds, gold to Scott Watson. The 16-year-olds, Cooper Sloss, Daniel Henry, Archie Johnston. And in the 17-year-olds, gold to Finlay Watson. .2:15.58. It's pretty tight. All to play for down this final stretch. As someone is offering me about a tablet, I'll have to wait for that one. Might disappear if I don't eat it now, but Sam Haddon has now forged ahead and gone about a body length clear of Reese McMillan. Ethan Alexander just a fraction back, but a very strong finish from Ren Sam Haddon is going to take this one from Reese McMillan, Renfrew Baths, and Ethan Alexander, City Glasgow. And a nice time as well, 3:00.74, 3:03.43, Reese and Ethan, 3:04.99. All pretty close to their entry times, and as I say, a nice wee PB for Sam. Well done, lads.
And this is heat 2 of event 103. 3 swimmers. We have an empty lane 2, lane 3, Angus Woods, Kintyre. 4, Ethan Reid, Ren 96, and his teammate Aviv Doughton swims in lane 5. So taking an early lead, the Kintyre swimmer. Angus Woods, 15 years of age, entered on a 2:52. So on paper, he's certainly the fastest swimmer and is right where you would expect to see him, turning there in a 36:58. So some nearly 5 seconds faster than the previous heat after the first 50 meters. So it's Angus Woods all the way from Kintyre. Kintyre swimming at the Equilibrium in Campbelltown. So some considerable distance for them. So there's that club coming up to East Kilbride this weekend. It's at least, I'd imagine, a 3.5-hour trip up over the rest and be thankful. So halfway mark is Angus Woods leading in a 1:19.25. 2 Ren 96 boys, Ethan Reid and Aviv Doughton, right into the turn at almost at the same time, a 1:30 against a 1:31. Better turn there, and up into second place now as Ethan Reid, ahead of his teammate But we look further up the pool, and it is Angus Woods continuing to build on his lead. He'll be looking for an improved time, a 2:52.26, as I said, for his entry time. He's going into the final turn just about now, and a 2:03.91. 12 seconds faster than the heat number one here at this stage. But here comes Angus going into the final turn. In second place is Ethan Reed, his teammate Aviv Doughton just behind him. So it'll be battle for second and third place between the two teammates of Ren 96. But there is no doubt who our leader is, and it is the 15-year-old from Kintyre, Angus Woods. He leads the field home. He's led the field pretty much right from the start of this race this morning for him, the 200-meter breaststroke. And in he comes to finish. Keep an eye on the clock for him, a 2:47.36. So big improvement on his entry time. As in behind him, two Ren 96, Ethan Reed, Aviv Doughton battle for second and third place in this heat. Looks like it will go to Ethan, all on the touch there at the end between the two boys. 3:04 to Ethan, 36 to Ethan Reed, and a 3:05.30 to Aviv Doughton.
Full house for Heat 3. Craig Hartley in 1, City Glasgow. 2, Brandon Wong, Renfrew Bass. 3, Kaelan Cardy, Stirling Swimming. 4, Martin Romix, Red 96. 5, Luke Watling Smith, Western Bartonshire. And 6, Matthew Jack, Renfrew Bass. 2:50.30 to 2:51.70. So on paper, less than a second and a half. Cover all 6 swimmers. So going pretty well in 3 at the moment. Kaelan Cardy from Stirling Swimming. He's going to be the early leader at the first 50. 37.70, 37.81 for Matthew. Just give you the medalists for that girls 200 breaststroke. Well, when we've got it all confirmed. Jenny Maguire, Hamilton Bass, Connie Hart, South Ayrshire, Abigail Fagan, Ren 96 or 123. And the 16-year-olds, Evie Mackey Lanark, Ava Ross, City Glasgow, Cara White, Red 96. And the 17 rovers, Perry Scobie, Stirling Swimming, Katie Towers, Lanark, and Emma Chambers from Cumbernauld. So no change at halfway, still lane 3 just leading from lane 6, 1:21.44, nearly 2 seconds now between Kaelan and Matthew. Very close for second, for third, Martin and Brandon. And also well there, Luke Watling Smith, the West East swimmer. In lane 5 coming through strongly. And he's making a move on Matthew to challenge for second. At the moment, still Kaelan in that middle lane, going particularly well in the penultimate 50. So coming to that final turn, 2:06.43 is extended that advantage a little bit more. Over on the far side is where all the action is for second and potentially third, Matthew and Luke. And not far behind is Martin as well. No doubt who's going to take this. It's been a solid swim from Kaelin. He's got an entry time of 2:50.30. Let's see if he can get a fraction inside that. Still second place is Matthew Jack. Very close for third. Luke and Martin are almost together. No doubt Kaelin takes that. Matthew second. And it might be lane 2. Very fast finishing Brandon Wong that gets up to take third place. 2:49.45. So Kaelin should be pleased with that. SVPB 2:50 dead for Matthew, just almost on his entry time. Brandon 2:53.72. We're all very tight finish in that last heat.
So we're on to lane 4 now. And in swimming in lane 1, Brian Fitzpatrick, Western Bartonshire. In lane 2, Jack Higney, Cumbernauld. No swimmer in lane 3. 4, Clark Malkin-Gill, Inverclyde. No swimmer in lane 5. And 6, Finley Morris from Inverclyde. And it's Jack Higney there in the yellow cap of Cumbernauld, I think, who has the early advantage. And will take the field into the first turn. And he does so, leading ahead of lane 4. Clark Malkin-Gill from Inverclyde. Finley Morris and Brian Fitzpatrick in behind them. That's after the first 50. So coming down to the halfway mark, and all 4 boys are still in touch with each other. So this could go to anyone. But it is the Cumbernauld swimmer, Jack Higney, leading at the moment. Has the advantage over Clark Malkin-Gill, swimming in lane 4. Jack comes into the turn at the halfway mark. He entered on a 2:47. Halfway mark is a 1:21 for him. 1:23 for Clark Malkin-Gill. Finley Morris in behind Brian Fitzpatrick, right on the toes. So we've got entry times ending from a 2:46 through to a 2:50 here. But it's still the Cumbernauld swimmer, Jack Higney, leading this field as they go down the pool to the final turn. 150 metres marked. 50 metres complete at the halfway mark. We're at the turn. I'll get this right in a moment. Jack Higney leading there, 2:07.56. Clark Malkin-Gill, 2:08.68, right in behind him. Finley Morris, 2:09. But it is still Jack Higney there in lane 2 in the yellow cap. Coming up fast, however, is the white cap of Clark Malkin-Gill in lane 4. Jack is continuing to hold Clark. Coming into the closing meters now. This is tightening up, but it's going to be Jack's race. So just watch the clock for him now. 2:51.26. Clark Malkin-Gill in second place, and third place goes to Inverclyde's and Finley Morris.
Fifth and penultimate heat, Logan Muffet in 1 from Stirling Swimming. 2, Luke Devlin, Lanark. 3, Stephens Nustats from Stranraer Stingrays. 4, Kieran Brown, City Glasgow. Empty lane in 5, and 6 is Lewis Spray from Inverclyde. 2:37.96, the fastest on paper. Stephens in lane 3. A distinct orange cap of Stranraer, going particularly strongly at this early stage. And he turns in 34.25. Well, that's significantly faster than the previous heat. Kieran Brown also pretty well on 36.11. Spray turning third. A nice long glide from our leader. Already 7 meters clear. So the halfway mark, that's significantly faster than we've seen. So every chance that we're going to potentially have a wee PB here if we can keep this very strong start going. Not much between Kieran, Logan and Luke for second, third and fourth, with Lewis Bray not all that far behind in fifth. It's all about Steppens here. Expecting this split somewhere around about the 150-ish mark. Just a little bit slower than that, 152.96. He's certainly every chance he's going to be a few seconds inside that 237.96. A super swim from the Stranraer lad. Very tight behind though. Game on for second here. Logan Muffet in one, Luke Devlin in two. Kieran Brown probably fourth rather. Certainly Logan Muffet looks good for second. Steppens comes down. Oh, this is a cracking swim. Just look at that time, 2:32.50. Fantastic swim from Steppens. Well done, Logan Muffet. I think he's just going to get second. It's a tight between all four lads. Logan takes that, and Luke, I think, just hangs on to get third place. 2:46.71 for Logan. 2:47.40 and 2:47.44. Nothing between Luke and Kieran for that third place, with Lewis 2:48.03. Unfortunately, disqualification in that last heat, lane 2 for a technical infraction. Sorry, my apologies, it's lane 3. Disqualification at lane 3 for a technical infraction.
And we move on to Heat 6, the final heat of event 103, 15 and over male and open 200 metre breaststroke. In lane 1, Kai Connolly, East Kilbride, I beg your pardon. 2, Finlay Bennett, Rutherglen. 3, Ethan Collins, Stirling Swimming. 4, the birthday boy, Craig Shaw from Lanark. And 5, Thomas Trainer, East Kilbride, with an empty lane 6. The boys go into the turn, 50 metres, and it is lane 3. Ethan Collins leading them in a time of 35.33. So we are already just about a second faster than the heat we saw just a moment ago. So it's Ethan Collins from Stirling Swimming leading ahead of, coming through fast, Kai Connolly, the East Kilbride swimmer. He's in second place at the moment. Just right in behind Ethan Collins. Third place, I think, goes to Rutherglen's Finlay Bennett. Watch the clock as the boys come into the turn. Really tight at the 100 metres mark, but it is lane 3, Ethan Collins, 1:15.36. Leading ahead of East Kilbride's Kai Connolly, 1:15.69. Really nothing to split those two boys. at the halfway mark. Swimming through nicely, Finley Bennett from Rutherglen. So our leaders are Kai Connolly, Finley Bennett, Ethan Collins, all battling it for first, second and third place here. Ethan Collins still has the advantage going into the final turn. Leading ahead of Rutherglen's Finley Bennett and in turn Kai Connolly. All three boys have now turned, heading for home. Let's see what happens. Ethan Collins, Finley Bennett, Kai Connolly. That's your 1, 2 and 3 as they come up to 25 metres still to be completed. Ethan Collins led from the start, continues to do so. Do they have enough water left to catch him? Ethan is moving really nicely through the water there. This belongs to him. Ethan Collins from Stirling Swimming entered on a 2:28, leads and has led from the beginning and wins this final heat this morning of the 200 metre breaststroke ahead of Rutherglen's Finley Bennett in a 2:36.63 and in turn ahead of Lanark's Craigshaw, the birthday boy, in a time of 2:38.54.
Next event is the ladies 100 metres backstroke, 7 heats. Good luck, girls. So we have Olivia Kershaw Yates, West Dumbartonshire in 2, Ellen Barbary. City Glasgow in 3, Sophie Brown, East Kilbride in 4, and Emma Emery in lane 5 from South Ayrshire. Swimmer Emma Emery in 5, so she got a bit of a slower time than the other 3 girls. So other 3 girls 1:15 entry times, and almost turning together. Hardly anything in it. Well, there you are. Quarter of a second, barely 38.11. 26 and 33. Emma turning in a 43.78. Well, again, the 3 girls hardly separated with 25 to go. Might just be the City Glasgow girl, Ellen Barbary. Marginal advantage down in the final 15 meters. She just looks that little bit stronger. Coming down the final stretch, Ellen, Sophie and Olivia. Looks to be the finish order. Is indeed 1:17.83, 1:18.76, 1:18.93 with Emma Emery coming down. And well done, Emma. And all the swimmers just a couple of seconds or so over our entry times, but good steady swims in our first heat.
And this is heat 2 of event 104. And lane 1, Lucy McLaughlin, Inverclyde. 2, Martha McEakin, Scotia. 3, Olivia Russell, Cumbernauld, with her teammate Sophia McGinley swimming in lane 4. 5, Edith Laidlaw, Dumfries, and 6, Emma Chambers, Cumbernauld. Entry times all very similar here. Perhaps the fastest is Olivia Russell in a 1:14.90, but the rest of the field all entered on a 1:15, and it is lane 4 at the 50-meter mark. Sophia McGinley, the Cumbernauld swimmer, 36.12, leading ahead of Lucy McLaughlin and in turn Edith Laidlaw. Coming down, we've got half a length to go, and it is lane 1, Lucy McLaughlin, the Inverclyde swimmer, who has the advantage over lane 5's Edith Laidlaw of Dumfries and Sophia McGinley of Cumbernauld. Taking this one this morning, it is lane 1's Lucy McLaughlin of Inverclyde in a 1:15.30, I beg your pardon. Lane 5 takes second place Edith Laidlaw of Dumfries, and third place goes to Sophia McGinley, Cumbernauld. Times for second and third place, 1:16.71 and 1:17.38.
Heat 3, Sienna Melville, Stirling swimming in 1. Olive Jeffrey, Lanark in 2. Charlotte McGavin, Hamilton Bass 3. Ella Cunningham, City Glasgow in 4. Rebecca Marsh, Renfrew Bass 5. And Abby Henderson, Rutherglen goes in 8. Lane 6. Pretty level start from 5 of the 6. Maybe Sienna just a fraction off the pace in the early stages. 1:13s to 1:14s the times in this. Lane 2 and lane 6 going well. 35.75, 200s in it. A nice turn there for Olive Jeffrey, swimmer. Coming through quite strongly now, Sienna Melville from Stirling Swimming. And still over on the far side, Abby's going pretty well. Still the two swimmers in lanes 2 and 6. Abby Henderson over in 6. Olive Jeffrey in lane 2. Very little in it. Abby maybe just has this one. Oh, it's tight. Abby gets this. Olive is second and in lane 4. No, lane 3 has managed to stretch a wee bit better than lane 4 to get third. 12.97. Abby takes that. Olive 1:13.19, and lane 3, Charlotte McGavin takes third.
And heat 4, lane 1, Susanna Curran, Kilmarnock. 2, Rachel McGavin, Hamilton Baths. 3, Ava Pettigrew, Cumbernauld. 4, Caitlin Morton, City of Glasgow. 5, Madison Gurley, North Ayrshire. 6, Lauren Dunlop, Dumfries. Entries all around the late 112s and early 113s, so this could be a very tight race between the girls this morning. So they're going into the turn after the first 50, and it is lane 6 over on the far side of the pool, leading Dumfries's Lauren Dunlop. Saw her in action earlier today in the 1500 metres, but showing her strengths with the backstroke here. She leads the field ahead of anyone's guess in lanes 2, 3 and 4. Rachel McGavin, Avon Pettigrew and Caitlin Morton all battling for second and third place as Lauren Dunlop comes in to finish her 100-metre backstroke, doing so in a time of 1:14.54. And second place goes to Rachel McGavin, Hamilton Baths, and third, Caitlin Morton, City of Glasgow.
So, 15th. Gavashetti, ran 96 in 1. Anna Dunlop, Dumfries in 2. Empty lane 3. City Glasgow's Thea Glenn in 4. And teammate Gina Wren in 5. And we've an empty lane in lane 6. 111s and 112s in this one. Very strong start in lanes 2. Anna Dunlop from Dumfries. Just the Glasgow girls up with her though. They're 35.58, just ahead of Thea and Gina. Back in 4th place is Gavashetti, round 96. Down the final 15 metres or so. Thea Glenn now coming through to challenge Anna Dunlop. And the City Glasgow swimmer maybe just strikes the front at the right time to take this one. Thea Glenn, Anna Dunlop, and Gina Wren. That's going to be your 1, 2, 3. Winning time 1:14.42 for Thea, 1:14.72 for Anna, and 1:16.90 for Gina Wren in 3rd.
So we move on to Heat 6, the penultimate heat of event 104. In lane 1, Chloe Semple, Rutherglen. 2, Amber Hinton, Dumfries. 3, Gracie Haddo, South Ayrshire. 4, Casey Dixon, Rutherglen. 5, Sophie Steele, South Ayrshire. And 6, Honor McCarty, City of Glasgow. We've got 109s through to 111 for entry times for the girls. Going up into the halfway marks, pretty tight at this certainly this side of the pool, but the leader is lane 2, Amber Hinton, the 15-year-old from Dumfries, leading ahead of South Ayrshire's Sophie Steele, and in turn, Gracie Haddo for also South Ayrshire. So Amber Hinton leading the field here. She'll take the field home. Up into second place now is Gracie Haddo ahead of Sophie Steele. Coming through fast, however, Rutherglen's Chloe Semple. Will she take third? And indeed she does. So second, Amber Hinton takes that in a 1:08.25 ahead of Gracie Haddo in a 1:10.33. And Chloe Semple takes third. And this is the final heat of event 104. In lane 1, Abigail Crawford, City of Glasgow. 2, Leah Rafferty, West Dunbartonshire. 3, Abigail McAnery, Inverclyde. 4, Coco Croxford, East Kilbride. 5, Anna Trochenko, City of Glasgow. And an empty lane 6. And it is lane 4, Coco Croxford, who has the early advantage. Entered on a 1:07. Coco turns first there, 32.79 ahead of Abigail Crawford, and in turn Abigail McAnery. We 1, 2, and 3 after 50 meters. Coco Croxford, however, continuing to lead this field, trying to come back at her. Lane 1, Abigail Crawford. Certainly up into second place. I think she's going to run out of water to challenge Coco for first place. First place goes to Coco Croxford in a 1:07.23 ahead of Abigail Crawford in a 1:09.12. And third place goes to Inverclyde's Abigail McAnery in a 1:10.33. So we're moving on to event 105, the male and open 15 and over 100-meter backstroke. We have 6 heats for you this morning. I'll confirm the results of event 103. This is the 200-meter breaststroke. So the 15-year-old boys, third place and bronze medal goes to Lewis Bray Inverclyde. Second place and silver medal to Angus Woods at Kintyre. And gold medal goes to Logan Moffat from Sterling Swimming. As I said, this is event 105, and this is heat 1 of 6. In lane 1, Bjorn Ayen from Hamilton Baths. 2, Blair Beverley, Lanark. Empty lane 3. 4, Jack Morrison, Cumbernauld. And his teammate Jack Higney swims in lane 5. Michael West, Kintyre, swims in lane 6. Looks like it's possibly Jack Higney, Cumbernauld swimmer. We saw lead his heat in earlier on this morning and is leading going into the turn, 35.67, leading ahead of Lanark's Blair Beverley and in turn Jack Morrison, also Cumbernauld. So it is Jack Higney. So it's Jack Higney continuing to lead this ahead of Blair Beverley from Lanark, but Blair is moving through the water really nicely as we come into the closing stages and now has the advantage. This will go to lane 2's Blair Beverley in a time of 1:14.44 ahead of Jack Higney, Cumbernauld, 1:15.59, and third place goes to Bjorn Owen of Hamilton Baths in a time of 1:18.25. Just to can give you some further results for event 103. This is the 16-year-old boys. Bronze medal, beg your pardon, goes to Clark Malkin-Gill, Inverclyde. Silver, Finley Bennett, Rutherglen. And gold, Ethan Collins, Sterling Swimming. 17-year-old boys. Bronze goes to Thomas Traynor, East Kilbride. Guy Connolly, his teammate, takes silver, and Lanark's Craig Shaw takes gold.
On to our second heat. 1 is Archie Barr, in 96. 2 is Ali Hattab, Dumfries. 3, Murray Johnson, in 96. 4, Brian Fitzpatrick, Western Bartonshire. 5, Luke Glenn, City Glasgow teammate Andrew Patterson in 6. 109 through to 112 are the entry times in this one. Pretty good starts in 3 with Murray and Luke in 5. See if it is in fact lane 3. It looks like Murray is our early leader. And he's got a second advantage or so over Ali and Luke, who almost come together. Murray's still a good body length clear and looks as though he's got this one in control. Ali's trying to get back in terms in lane 2, but the Wren lad has this one pretty well wrapped up now, gone at least body length and a half clear. Nice swim here from Murray. Ali's going to get second, but he's getting challenged for second by Luke. Luke's going up. Murray takes that. Luke might just sneak in. Not quite, very much on the touch. We'll just wait for confirmation on that. Ali just gets second, I think, 1:13.17. Third place, scoreboard is showing Andrew Patterson in third and 1:13.40. We'll just wait if I thought Luke Glenn was a wee bit faster than the time on the board, but we'll wait for our officials just to confirm that. But a nice swim there. Murray takes that in a 1:10.43. Just relaxed a wee minute, lads. We're just confirming times in that last race. We'll get you in the water very shortly. Time for lane 5 just being checked. I think it's a wee bit faster than that. It was, he did in fact get second. But Glenn, 1:13.06 and 1:13.17 for Ali. Well done, Luke. So 5 go in this one. 1 Max Buchanan from Renfrew Baths. 2 Stephen Nustak from Stranraer Stingrays. 3 is Cameron Hamill from North Ayrshire, empty in 4. 5 is Soren Hudson Young, Stirling Swimming. And 6, Kyle Connolly from East Kilbride. Lane 3 going pretty well is Cameron and Kyle Connolly over in lane 6. Lane 1, Max Buchanan not that far behind either. Lane 6 and 3 almost together. Kyle Connolly and Cameron Hamill. Just a fraction off those two is Max in lane 1. Now down the final stretch. Still nicely positioned is Kyle Connolly. And finishing extremely fast in 3, Cameron Hamill from North Ayrshire. And North Ayrshire lad looks as though he's going to get this, but flying at the end is Steppins. Steppin Nutax is going to maybe get this one. Oh, it's on the touch. Steppins are maybe... Well, it's the way the arms come down. 108.68. Just hanging on was Cameron. 108.70 Steppins. And 110.02 Kyle Connolly.
And this is Heat 4, Lane 1, Lewis Nelson, East Kilbride. 2, Malcolm Ormrod, Killannock. 3, Jasper Brune, South Ayrshire. 4, Lance McMahon, Western Bartonshire. 5, Finley Guadici, Renfrew Baths. And 6, Dean Binney, Inverclyde. Jasper Broom, 106, the fastest on paper. Certainly looks like they're... See what's happening. Lane 4, leading ahead there of Malcolm Ormrod. So Lance McMahon, the Western Bartonshire swimmer. Formerly of Helensburgh, but some of you will know there's been problems with the Helensburgh pool with the roof being ripped off following that last storm. And it is still Lance McMahon leading ahead of Malcolm Ormrod in swimming in lane 2. So the red cap of Western Bartonshire's Lance McMahon will lead the field in. Malcolm's trying to come back at him, but I think will run out of water. He does. That goes to lane 4's Lance McMahon in a 106.69 ahead of Malcolm Ormrod of Lanark in a 107.30. And third place goes to Jasper Brune, South Ayrshire in a 108.76.
So our 50 Craig Shaw. Lanark in 1. Logan Muffet. Stirling Swimming in 2. 3. Cameron O'Donnell. Hamilton Bass in 3. Tom Jeffers. Rain 96. 4. We've Empty Lane in 5. And 6. Adam Merrick. Cumbernauld. And Adam's going particularly well in lane 6, but also well there in 1, probably in the lead. Just in the lead is Craig Shaw. And Craig going very nicely down these last 30 metres or so, coming through very strongly to challenge Cameron O'Donnell from Hamilton Bass. And Cameron really flying down the final stretch to challenge Craig Shaw. And a Hamilton swimmer takes it up inside the final few metres. Adam Merrick, Cumbernauld, is going to get second. Very tight for third. Lane 5 and 1 almost together. No doubt about the winner. Cameron O'Donnell from Hamilton, 105.51. 107.11 for Adam. And by a hundredths, Craig Shaw takes third ahead of Tom Jeffers. Ahead of Rory Duncan, my apologies. And unfortunately, disqualification lane 1 for a technical infraction. So that promotes Rory Duncan. 108.19 to third place, but well done to Cameron.
And this is Heat 6, the final heat of event 105. In lane 1, David Landman, City of Glasgow. 2, Blake Herdman, Inverclyde. 3, Ethan Collins, Stirling Swimming. 4, Kyle Mossman, City of Glasgow. 5, Luke Scott, Dumfries. And 6, Angus Woods, Kintyre. So only 1 entry time, sub the 1 minute. That's the Ethan Collins. Swimming in lane 3. But it's lane 2, Blake Herdman, who has the advantage at the halfway mark, leading ahead of Kyle Mossman and in turn Ethan Collins. So still all to play for between lanes 2 and 3 as we come up to 25 metres to go. Blake Herdman, Ethan Collins. Ethan Collins, I beg your pardon, who has the advantage ahead of Inverclyde's Blake Herdman. And it will be Ethan Collins, the Stirling from Stirling Swimming, that takes this in a 102.81 ahead of Blake Herdman in a 103.55. And Kintyre's Angus Wood takes third place in a 105.41. So just some results for event 104 as the pool is cleared from that previous event. The 15-year-old girls 100-metre backstroke. Bronze medal, Abby Henderson, Rutherglen. Silver, Gracie Haddo, South Ayrshire. Gold, Amber Hinton, Dumfries. 16-year-old girls. Bronze goes to Chloe Semple, Rutherglen. Silver, Abigail McAnery, Inverclyde. Gold, Abigail Crawford, City of Glasgow. 17 and over girls. Bronze goes to Leah Rafferty, Western Bartonshire. Silver goes to Sophie Steele, South Ayrshire. And gold, Coco Croxford, East Kilbride.
6 heats of 50 butterfly for the girls. Abigail Fagan in 2, Rebecca Marsh 3, Orla Jeffrey 4, Casey Dixon in 5. And very little in it at the 25-metre mark. Rebecca Marsh maybe in 3, just shading it. The Renfrew swimmer from Orla Jeffrey from Lanark. Oh, it's nip and tuck between the two with Casey Dixon just a smidgen back. I think we've got lane 4, Orla Jeffrey from lanes 3 and 5. 32.83, the winning time for Orla, 33.52. In second place, Rebecca Marsh, and Casey Dixon, 33.77, takes third.
And this is heat 2, lane 1, Ellen White, 2, Olivia Russell, 3, Thea Glenn, 4, Lucy McGovern, 5, Ava Pettigrew, and 6, Gracie Haddo. Heading beyond, down to the finish line. It's fairly tight. Look like our winner's going to come from, I think, lane 4, but let's keep an eye on lane 1. And lane 4 called that correctly. There we go, Lucy. The disqualification in lane 4 for a technical infraction. So first place goes to Sterling Swimming's Ellen White, second, Gracie Haddo, and third, Thea Glenn.
Heat number 3, Alex Shepherd, Caitlin Hamilton, Sophia McGinley, Emma Binney, Erin Ferris, Addison Smith. Well, nice start in lane 3. Sophia McGinley. Let's see how this one goes. Also well there in 4, Emma Binney. Emma Binney being challenged by Erin Ferris. Also well there in 1. Alex Shepherd, lane 5, I think might have just got this. Very tight indeed. Lane 1, Alex Shepherd takes that, 31.69. Second place, 31.90. Lane 5, Erin Ferris. And lane 4, Emma Binney, 32.13, takes third. Disqualification, lane 3, for a technical infraction.
Heat 4, lane 1, Cara White, 2, Mariana Patrick, 3, Katie Towers, 4, Cara Gumbrell, 5, Neve Scott, and 6, Abby McMillan. Lane 4 just has the slight advantage. Cara Grumble, the 18-year-old from City of Glasgow. They're going into the closing stages here. I think Mariana Patrick also moving through the water really well. Mariana's going to take this, and she does in a 31.09 ahead of Cara Grumble in a 31.29, and third place goes to City of Glasgow's Neve Scott in a 31.44.
Heat number 5, Connie Hart, Anna Tkachenko, empty lane in 3. Sophie Steele, Gina Wren, Millie Convent, 4, 5, and 6. And it's pretty close over on that far side. Sophia Steele, South Ayrshire, going well. In lane 1, Connie Hart, also there or thereabouts. I think lane 4 and lane 1 are going to be, it's very tight. Lanes 4, 1, and possibly lane 6. Was lane 4 that took it. Sophie Steele, 30-80, 31-81. Connie Hart and Gina Wren just touched out Millie Convent, 32-90 to take third.
And this is heat 6 of event 106, the final heat. To lane 1, Amber Hinton. 2, Evie Mackey. We have empty lanes 3 and 4. 5, Anna Dunlop. And 6, Perry Scobie. And it's Evie Mackey, the Lanark swimmer, who has the advantage as the girls go down into the closing meters here. I think ahead of Amber Hinton. That will be your 1 and 2, Evie Mackey, Amber Hinton. It is indeed 28.79 for Evie Mackey, 29.60 for Amber Hinton, and third place goes to Dumfries' Anna Dunlop in a 30.73.
Six heats for the boys. Scott Watson in 1, Craig Hartley in 2, Andrew Patterson 3, Oliver Jones in 4, Martin Romix in 5. So smartly away was Scott Watson, very smartly away indeed. Lane 3 going well, Andrew Patterson. He's come through to take it up along with Oliver Jones, lanes 4 and 3. So look at, yeah. Certainly very little between Oliver and Andrew. That's how Andrew just takes it 30-36. Oliver Jones 30-41, and third place in lane 2, Craig Hartley 33-17. Disqualification, lane 1 for a technical infraction.
The results for 105, 15-year-old boys 100-metre backstroke. Bronze goes to Lance McMahon, Western Bartonshire. Silver, Angus Woods, Kintyre, and gold, Blake Herdman, Inverclyde. And heat 2, lane 1, Finley Morris. 2, Leighton Bonner. 3, Raphael Sarachnik. 4, Nicodemus Muleman. 5, Jay McKinnon. And 6, Henry Duran. So halfway mark, pretty much all in a line. I think it possibly the advantage lies with lane 3, I beg your pardon, from Sterling Swimming, Raphael Sarachnik. Let's watch this as they go into the finish, and it is indeed lane 3 who took that in a 29.96, leading ahead of Nicodemus Muleman in a time of 30.17, and Henry Duran takes third place in a time of 30.42. So the results for the 16-year-old boys 100-metre breaststroke. Bronze goes to Kyle Mossman, City of Glasgow. Silver, Cameron O'Donnell, Hamilton Baths. And gold, Ethan Collins, Sterling Swimming.
Archie Barr, Aidan Fraser, Kyle Sanderson, Lewis Bray, Lance McMahon, and Caelan Cardy. Smartly away in 4, it's Luz Bray. Also coming through strongly in 6 is Kaelin Cardy to challenge. These two going well in lane 1. Not far behind Archie Barr, but it's between lanes 4 and 6. Luz Bray, Kaelin Cardy, and maybe in lane 1. Archie Barr, that is indeed the finish order. Lane 4, Luz Bray, 29.68, 30.23. So Archie is Kaelin and Archie 30.54.
So this is Heat 4, Lane 1, Brody Lydon, 2, Adam Merrick, 3, Ewan Nielsen, the birthday boy, 4, Blake Herdman, 5, Jasper Broom, and 6, Clark Malkin Gill. Really nothing between the boys, but it might be the South Ayrshire swimmer, Jasper Broom, over there in lane 5, who has the slight advantage. It certainly looks from this angle that he does, and that he'll lead the field in. And it does indeed. First place goes to South Ayrshire's Jasper Broom in a time of 28.57. Second place goes to Blake Herdman at Inverclyde, 29.55. And third place goes to Cumbernaulds Ewan Nielsen in a 29.65. Finish off the results for event 105. The boys 17 and over, 100 metre backstroke. Bronze goes to Malcolm Ormrod, Glannock. Silver, David Landman, City of Glasgow. And gold, Luke Scott, Dumfries.
Heat 5, Lachlan Small 1, Cole Ashwood 2, empty 3, 4, Finlay Cunningham empty 5, and Finlay Bennett in 6. Lachlan Small flying down the last 15 metres in lane 1, also over in 6, Finlay Bennett. So opposite lanes, Lachlan Small, Finlay Bennett. That's going to be the 1-2. Third place, lane 4, I think. 27.83, only 1300s in it. Great swims from the outside lanes, fellas. 27.96 for Finlay, 29.69 Finlay Cunningham.
Heat 6, final heat of this morning's racing. Lane 1, Kyle Mossman. 2, Finlay Hiddleston. Empty lane 3. 4, James Gillis. 5, David Landman. And 6, Michael Winship. The advantage lies with lane 4, James Gillis, City of Glasgow. But into the closing stages, they are catching him, but James still has that advantage and will lead the field in. He does indeed in a time of 27.55, ahead of David Landman in a time of 28.26, and Finlay Hiddleston Dumfries in third place with a 28.38. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our swimming for this session 1 of this weekend here in East Kilbride. Thank you very much to everybody joining us on live stream, to our spectators in the spectator gallery, and of course our swimmers and their support staff, but a particular thank you to all our technical officials, without whom this session could not have gone ahead, and indeed to all of those working behind the scenes. Thank you very much. The warm-up for this afternoon's session will start at 12 o'clock. The females turn in first, very much as following the pattern from this morning, with the session 2 starting at 12:45. Thank you.
and Dumfries's Amber Hinton takes the gold. 16-year-olds, the bronze to